What does the future of change look like? Well, that's a big question, and probably one that struggled to cover in 2 minutes. But I think organisations are evolving, and the way that we approach managing, leading, enabling, empowering change in organisations is probably changing fundamentally too. So, as organisations become more flexible, become more agile, become less hierarchical, it's evidently the case that the way that change is handled within those organisations will shift. As for change itself changing, I think it's pretty much the same it always has been. It's kind of three certainties in life: death, taxes, and change. And change is perhaps the one that gets the best reputation out of those, but in some ways is also the most enduring. So your taxes, you don't notice, they're taken in the background unless you're in the US and you're sitting there filling in the paperwork. And death, well, you only have to cope with that once, but change you pretty much endure the entire time and you're aware of, particularly when it's flagged up to you. I think the challenge is to how to make change seen in a more organic and a less painful way than it currently is. There's a perception management issue there, and that's tied up in the idea of practitioners and the way that it's handled, but it's also tied up in that horrible historic concept of loss. So the idea that all people are afraid of change, I think, is it's an unhelpful starting point for actually recognising that the world is in a constant state of flux. So how do we best equip people and enable people to be in a position to make the best of that change? So what does the future of change look like? I'm hoping it's a really positive coalescence of different disciplines into a position to make organisations be all they want to be, but also make the world of work a better place. Because actually doing change unto people is probably something that's going out of fashion. Enabling people to make change happen in a positive way is probably where the future of things lies.